Hello everybody, this is Vinton, aka BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday. This is the second time we're doing this intro, because I left the audio way too loud the first time. Full disclosure. Yay, everybody left the chat room. That's about right. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, anyway, we're going to be playing a little bit more Phoenix Wright tonight. Oh boy, this should be fun, especially considering I am a tiny bit sleep deprived. I don't really want to get into it. It's a long-ass story. Maybe it's like really slow sometime during the stream, I'll talk about it. I'll probably save it for Sunday or something, but yeah, we're diving right back into Phoenix Wright and all that stuff. But anyway, so where we last left off, well, whoopsies. Whatever. Here, just for all trials. Continue. Anyway, where we last left off, we were just about ready to dive back into the courtroom after doing a round of investigation, and actually the investigation the last time didn't take too long. It was literally just looking for a one wiretap. We haven't talked to On Guard yet, which we need to, because for some reason he knows a thing or two about this Mr. Dick Killer. Who is his butler? Why? We need some information. Oh, no, we're starting here, I guess. All right, let's see. March 22nd, 9:14 p.m., Gatewater Hotel, Corrida's hotel room. Interesting. Let us start. It's past 9 o'clock p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya. These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay. You're right. She doesn't seem like she believes me at all. Alright, let's talk about the real killer, huh? So, the real person who killed Mr. Corrida was... the assassin, Mr. Shelley Dick Killer, right? And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired Dick Killer to begin with? Who is his client? You mean, who asked for the murder? That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood. But whoever this client is, they're still a killer. It's a good question. I mean, all hands point directly towards On Guard, because, I mean, that would be something that On Guard would want to have done. As well as On Guard is... I mean, either that or maybe... The only thing I can think is, like, maybe... My thoughts are that somehow Corrida managed to figure out that On Guard and his family has been harboring, like, this murderer for the past, like, several years, and that was the thing that was going to ruin him. But, and then, you know, we need to shut him up. So Shelley the Killer would have had to have been the guy to do it, because, you know, so I think he might have done this on his own volition, not just an assassin for hire. He did it, like, on purpose to shut him up. And now, unfortunately, On Guard, though, is now being framed, and we need to try and get the blame off of On Guard. So the first thing is, you know, get a not guilty verdict by any means necessary is basically it. At the end of this, I think we're going to eventually be twisting it back down to the butler, but we'll have to see, that's for sure. Anyway, the assassin's client. Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews? Meh. I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself? But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then... No, it can't be. Matt On Guard himself. Was it Matt? If Mr. On Guard really did hire the assassin, then he is not innocent at all. Far from it. He would be guilty of the crime. But it can't be Mr. On Guard, right? I mean, when we first talked with him... Mr. On Guard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone. And that includes Juan Corrida, okay? Yeah, but he didn't say he hired anyone. He's still telling the truth on that. I didn't see any psychologs at the time. Actually, that reminds me.
Did you remember something, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting. What was it? I don't even remember it.
So what is this interesting thing?
Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls?
Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looks like somehow Juan had it in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Onguard's secret? Well, what is his secret?
I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Kurita was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. Onguard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Kurita silenced. Yeah. Which means we have to meet with Mr. Onguard. There's no way around it. Yep. And I don't think there's anything to investigate in here anymore, so moving on. But again, my theory is that this was not a hired murder. This was straight up, Kurita was about to expose the entire Shelly the Killer thing, the entire killer line, directly put on Matt on guard and harboring this, crazy guy, essentially. I mean, that's the best way that it fits together. So that's my theory right now.
Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it's past 9 o'clock p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of this secret Mr. Kurita held against Mr. Onguard. And Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight.
But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center?
I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. Bribe the the bailiff or whatever, or the person that's securing all of the people. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel, Viola Hall. Oh God, no, old Beck. Hi.
Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that had anything to do with you is ever good. Like just now, I was handed this strange device for the who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel.
That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made?
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care. But the request came from Angie Poo, so...
Edgeworth?
And he said...
If you feel angry, direct your anger at the unsophisticated lawyer.
So I'm gonna feel free to direct any of my anger, all of my anger, towards you!
Gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. Oh, no. So I guess we're sweeping for bugs everywhere, huh?
This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourself. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents.
Very interesting.
I'm sure it was, you know. It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting. Scandalous? What's that? It means, well, you know that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan?
Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews? But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Kurita.
I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planted the spy camera. It was that obnoxious, puppy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people.
No. Lada is not that forward-thinking, no.
Spying on people all by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too.
Wow. The alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change.
I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet that it's nothing good.
But I didn't say anything. God, Juan and Adrian, goddamn.
So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two.
Oh?
I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard.
That manager? Who are you talking about?
You don't know? The manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though.
Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impacts, Miss Andrews' mentor, right?
Yes, that one.
Oh, God, I hate doing Miss Oldbag's voice. It's so bitchy.
That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know.
Married? You mean to Mr. Kurita?
Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do you? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement.
3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the... Eh? Why would you just up and kill yourself at that point? I don't...
Why would Miss Impacts want to kill herself? She was gonna get married.
Yeah.
Well, that's because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan.
What?
But they were gonna get married, right? They promised each other, right? They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage.
Is that true?
It was in the weekly magazines.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
But why? Why did she do that? That was not in the magazines, unfortunately.
I see. Why are you trusting a magazine?
That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager Celeste killed herself.
How terrible.
I wonder what happened between those two.
Fuck. Alright, well, do we have anything to present to you? Anything new or anything particular? Have you seen this thingy? Nope. I am not going to be doing any extra voices. No. I want to save myself a little bit. So what do you think about Lada's photo, huh? No, you were the one that had it. Come on. You had the camera, the photo inside. Alright. I don't think there's... Maybe the suicide reports? I don't think so. She's all about the gossip, so maybe any of those things would give her... You know, start making some rusty gears turn in her head. No. Actually, I don't even know why I say rusty gears. I mean, for an old bag, she actually does have her head's on straight, I think. Anything to do with any of these people? I don't know. I'm trying to cover my bases so we can... Anything else about Celeste? No? Okay, my assumption is that you know nothing else aside from this. Okay. Let's run. Let's get the hell out. Hotel lobby. Huh. The Nickel Samurai. March 22nd, Gatewater Hotel. Hotel lobby. On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. It looks like these things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. Yep. Fair enough. Alright. Well. I guess I could go to our law offices, but there's no real reason to. Unless we wanted to talk to Gumshoe.
It doesn't look like Mr. Scuffy Detective's here.
Well, he's out with that camera asking around all the electronic stores.
And then I'll make some salad for him for dinner.
It looks like Pearls really appreciates what Gumshoe is doing for us.
Mr. Nick.
Yes?
Where's the lettuce?
I don't think I've ever bought lettuce before. Nah, not a very healthy bunch here. But microwave dinners.
Oh, I guess I'll have to give up on making a salad then.
Guess the lack of lettuce is kind of a problem. Yep. Anything to say to you? No. Alright. Let's move, I guess the next thing would be going down to the detention center and talking with a Mr. On Guard. Visiting hours ended a few hours ago. Looks like we're not going to get a chance to talk with Mr. On Guard tonight.
But, isn't what we have to ask very important?
Yeah, but I don't think that matters to the guard. Damn it. Okay, maybe something at the Criminal Affairs Department? Something new there? March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department.
It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened?
You're Mr. Unguard's lawyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness.
Who? A decisive witness? You mean for the on-guard case?
We're taking the witness statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth.
What's Edgeworth up to now?
Who is the witness?
I think you know the person quite well, Mr. Lawyer.
Mr. Nick.
Between the kidnapper's demands and now this, I can't see any way to win here.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something.
He did?
Even though visiting hours are over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permissions, so there you go.
Sweet.
What?
I've already called them so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content.
Why? Okay, so you've already called them? Why the hell didn't they allow me to... Alright, what? Guess it happened over the commute. Thank you very much. Ooh. Having connection problems with the mixer chat. Okay, whatever.
This is such good news, Mr. Nick.
Go talk to your heart's content. It sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. Right then, I have a strange suspicion I know who Edgeworth is looking at. If he is as forward-thinking as I think he is, I'm pretty forward-thinking on this one too. I mean, mostly because I've been handed cutscenes that show me who the real killer are. But, you know, I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means both Mr. On-Guard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Couldn't I hear both of them? For the sake of things, I'm going to save. Because if I can't hear both of their stories, this is going to be bullshit. Here. Alright. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, Matt on Guard would probably be important considering that he is directly correlated to his butler. I don't know if Adrian... Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Adrian would eventually lead us to the fact that maybe she did know something about the thing that, yeah, Mr. Kurita knew. I don't know, maybe. I want to see, at the very least. Hello.
Oh, it's you.
I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight.
Me? I thought your client was Matt.
I'm sure Miss Andrews knows. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Kurita had on Mr. On Guard. Alright. Let's have a chat. You and us. I'd like to ask you about Matt on Guard, if you don't mind.
Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean.
Sure. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. On Guard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival?
That has nothing to do with this case. Nothing.
Well, thank you for clamming up, like you usually do. Let's talk about this, huh? About Miss Celeste Impacts.
I had finally put her death behind me. And now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and to burn it.
You wanted to burn it? But why? Wait, why would you want to burn it?
I didn't want to spend... I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent toward Juan. I would never do something so stupid.
The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why frame him? Because I'm sure he did it. Why did you try to frame Mr. On Guard?
That's simple. Because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police? But there had to be another way.
The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right?
Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death.
A little bit of a grudge on the police, I think.
Miss Andrews?
Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without a reason, so please, tell me why you did what you did.
Revenge. Huh? Did you say something just now?
Uh-oh! Crap! A psych lock, huh?
Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy. But...
I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say... revenge. Mm-hmm. Okay, so... Can I have a chat with On Guard by moving out of here, perhaps? I'd like to try. Let me see. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, yep. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Let's talk to Matt now. Hopefully he doesn't have any psych locks. Yo, dude, it's Mr. Wright! Oh, I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you. I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me by saying that Juan Corrida was killed by an assassin, and that the assassin's client is this man, Matt Ungard. Ooh, what's wrong? Mr. Ungard, there's something I must know with 100% certainty. You seem kind of different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self. Uh-oh. Let's see. About the press conference. You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai? Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews.
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Could you please fill me in on what this secret is, please? Nope. Sykes! My god. I knew this was coming.
Mr. Nick, don't tell me.
Cyclops. You said a secret, right? But I don't have any idea what it is. Do you, dude? Hey, wait, what about this? Did you know about Mr. Corrida and Miss Andrews' relationship? Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life. Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corrida. Her mentor was Mr. Corrida's manager. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm saying, oh god, I have so many of those lines were fucked up, I think. Anyway, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste's impacts. My god, get me back on the roller coaster. Miss Celeste impacts suicide note from him. Celeste? Does that jog any memories? Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for pizza? My treat. You can deliver pizza to your prison cell.
Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it a kind of pea, like green peas?
You have never had pizza? That's it. Nope. We're going out. We're going out right now. I don't know what pizza place it is. Just the closest one. We're going. Let's go eat one later, okay? Oh, I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop. That's too bad. Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay? Why? Mr. Ungard, are you connected to Miss Impact's suicide in some way? Interesting. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, criminy. All right. So the only cycle lock I think I could possibly break right about now, I would have to say, Adrian Anders is probably the only one I could probably break. Because it's 1. So, if I have the thing... Let's try. Again, it's only 1 psych lock. Let's hope it's easy. Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. On Guard for the murder?
I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer.
No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. On Guard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge.
So you were saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for.
Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. Good question. You know what? Here's... Okay. My thoughts on this. Celeste's picture was inside that small room. Yeah. Celeste's picture was sitting in that small room over in, Herpity Derp. I think somehow... Something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. I think it would have to do with Celeste, because why would there be a picture of Celeste located inside Matt Unguard's mansion, inside the weird John Doe room? But how would I be able to prove that here? I don't know. I'm gonna try this. Ooh, hey!
Celeste?
There's only one catalyst that could cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that is Miss Impax's suicide.
What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. Why does all this have to do with Matt?
You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Matt, Mr. Unguard, it would mean that he must have some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide.
Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt?
Do I have the evidence to actually prove that, though? I don't think I do. Autopsy report, crime photo. The attempted suicide. No, honestly, I don't think I can. Can't think of anything. Alright, so let's... Here. For the sake of it, let's actually try and break through the psych locks of, Mr. On Guard. And if we can't do that, then I guess I'll just go search around a little bit. Right. Bring in Matt. Hello, sir. I have a thing for you. Oh, you're so locked up. Such bullshit. Matt's secret. Let's do it. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed? Oh, I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. Don't lie to me. No. I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. Why? And how? Honestly, I think I need to do a little bit more research, because I can't figure that out. Alright, now, let's move out to... Guess we need to go back to the crime scene, or something. Someplace. No idea. Back to the hotel lobby. Let's move back to his living room and see if maybe there's anything here that I could potentially find. March 22nd, on guard's mansion, living room. It looks like no one's around.
Oh, what happened to that person with the stuffed teddy face?
Oh, she must mean the butler with the stitches in his face.
Yo! Kitty! Oh, there you are. I guess you're still awake, aren't you? Hee come on, let's play.
Go have fun. I wonder if that butler, Mr. Doe, is already asleep or not. Shit. Okay. Damn it, it doesn't look like there's anything I can do here. And there's the door. Small door at the bottom of this bigger door. That's for the cat to use. You mean shoe? It's locked tight. Yeah, no. Nothing to be done here, and I don't think I can look around. And again, I'm willing to bet that he is the person. You know, the butler is the guy who is currently being interrogated as a witness to the crime, as it were. Oh, hey, more stuff. March 22nd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me. Who is this? Uh-oh. Oh, Mr. Powers! What the hell? Okay.
What happened? Why are you here?
You see, I got roped into this somehow.
What?
Now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial.
So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers? He wasn't there. He was with us.
I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home. When all of a sudden, you're under arrest, and I was brought back here.
Oh.
They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something.
Well, I guess I can see how they thought you looked suspicious.
I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime?
No, it's not. Have a chat, huh? Tomorrow's testimony. So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about?
No, I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me.
You saw something important? What was it?
Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think is that lawyer the detective was talking about?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's me. Great.
Yeah, you got it.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's all right.
Ouch. I don't really have a lot of friends, do I? Nope. One 18-year-old girl, one that's like 9. I am so buffed. I'm so buffed up. My posse is gigantic. All right, Matt on guard.
This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know, because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going.
But what is he really like?
Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game to justify himself.
What? How horrible! That's unforgivable!
No, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. But you know, he said once that there's only one person in this world who won't swoon over me.
One person who wouldn't swoon over him?
His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic?
No, you see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities in the world have this dazzling sort of image, right?
A dazzling sort of image. But aren't you a part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers?
No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen.
Well, that's true.
No, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide?
You mean Miss Impacts?
We heard something about how her wedding was canceled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead!
Mr. Powers is so charged up his skin is practically glowing with electricity. Electric Lion! Celeste suicide.
Hey, so, have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note,
Yeah, I heard about that.
and they say that Juan went and hid it.
We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note.
Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note.
Dumb ass. Of course. Why would there be anything positive written on a suicide note?
Something bad for Juan, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Carita?
Why do you figure so?
Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends, and she said, "It looks like I got caught up with a truly insidious man."
A truly insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Carita by that?
Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note.
I see. Well, that's some good info. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews. They're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. Hello!
Mr. Nick, your phone!
Hey, that's the Steel Samurai theme, isn't it?
I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kinda ominous.
Yeah, I know.
Meow. Hello?
We're in trouble now, pal! No, I'll be back at the office real soon! What's wrong? Something really unexpected just happened. Mr. Edgeworth,
Edgeworth?
Anyway, hurry up and get back to the office, pal. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's no good. The end.
Jesus. Hello? He got cut off.
What's going on, Mr. Nick?
Gumshoe said we need to go back to the office right away.
Then we should hurry back.
I'm scared to go back.
What are you talking about, Mr. Nick? Pull yourself together. Slap.
Maybe it'll be good news.
Somehow I doubt that. Uh-oh. Shit.
Shit.
Run! What happened to Edgeworth? Was he shot too?
What took you so long, pal? Mr. Edgeworth couldn't stick around forever and had to go.
Well, what happened?
We got him. We know who bought the spy camera.
Yeah? This quickly?
And this bear's what gave him away, pal.
The bear.
I figured it out, pal. I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera.
But wasn't it Mr. Edgeworth that figured...
Shh, Pearls. And go on. Yeah, don't take the wind out of his sails just yet. He's on a roll.
There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime.
Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room?
Mad on God.
Huh?
Mad on God. Your client. That's who, pal.
And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Yeah, I mean, everybody who is currently watching this serial knows who bought the bear. But we can't really say that just yet. Let's have a chat. Are you sure that you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was...
I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear.
A receipt? That's all you have?
Nah, it's not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said it himself. He told me, "I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. Ungard." I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ungard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ungard himself.
My sight is failing me. This can't be. Shit. Spy camera. So what about the spy camera we found?
That was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I can give these back to you for your file anyway, to file away into evidence.
Thank you, sir.
I know you don't want to give up, pal.
I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corrida's room was Matt Ungard.
Why would Mr. Ongard do something like this?
I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corrida in one of their rendezvous.
I bet is not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera.
Are you going to see him? Mr. Ongard, I mean?
Yes.
I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we'll find out next.
I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ungard, what in the world have you done? Alright, yeah, let's go back to the detention center. Have a chat with him about a specific camera. Yeah, you.
You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 o'clock p.m., dude.
I think it's time you told me the truth.
Relax. Do you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, well, let's talk.
Let me try and just present this. Oh, nope, can't do that. Alright, I guess I need to just have a chat with him then. Here. Fine. Talkie times. Oh, nope. Can I present the bear then? Or maybe the receipt for said bear? One of these? Nope. Okay, let's present the receipt then. Damn it, okay. Does it have to do with the Cyclops then? The transmitter. Yeah, no. That's generic as all hell. Alright, let me try to present this. See if we can unlock the psych lock now. Maybe one of these items now makes sense. Because they didn't before. That's for sure. Matt's secret. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corrida had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed?
I told you before, dude. I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap.
Don't lie to me.
Huh?
I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corrida, especially on that night. Now the question is, which one of them? Bear! This bear was in Mr. Corrida's room on the night of the murder. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan.
So? It's a present, dude. It actually looks kind of classy, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I hear it's quite expensive. Which is why it is very odd that this gadget was found inside the bear. This is a very small video camera. And it was hidden inside this bear's eye.
Maybe it's a really curious bear?
Oh, stop being aloof with me. Well, whatever this bear saw was sent somewhere using this transmitter. Which means someone on the night of the murder was secretly filming Mr. Corrida's room.
I guess Juan had a few of those kind of fans too, huh, dude?
Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. Burp.
You sure, dude? Who else could it be from?
The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corrida was... Brr. Mr. Ungard, don't you know this bear from somewhere?
I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude.
Oh, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend?
What else did the bear tell you? It's like, are you talking to stuffed animals, dude? That's not normal.
He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Ungard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first?
Here is proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear.
Proof that you did it? Well, there's no direct proof that he did the deed, but there is proof that he owns the bear. There we go. I have here 1 credit card receipt, Mr. Ungard.
It's from when you bought the stuffed bear.
Dude, all you can tell from this is that I spent $3,800. I go to the department store all the time, okay? This $3,800. This could be the toothbrush I bought that one time. What the hell kind of toothbrush are you brushing your teeth with? You realize that, like, diamonds are abrasive. Stop using diamonds to brush your teeth.
A $3,800 toothbrush?
It's ivory. And it's got elephant hair for breath. God damn it.
Ew. Elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyways,
store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier.
yeah.
So, can I ask you one thing? Yes. You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. This sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set this camera up yet. And what your secret is? Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you going to do now? I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... Take that! Adrian Andrews. There's a rumor going around that Miss Andrews and Mr. Kurita were having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Kurita, you were going to reveal this as fact and turn it into a scandal. Isn't that right? Dude, you can be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff! That's what we in the industry call juicy! The good stuff? Juicy? Look, we can get publicity with spending a... we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude. Yeah. That's sort of like how the whole Miley Cyrus thing when she was doing the bad girl thing. Like, I remember that, and that was just a gigantic publicity stunt. Nowadays, she's dropped that thing entirely. But, like, it did manage to get her on top of the world for a very brief period of time. And like, it goddamn works when you want to stir controversy in the pot. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. Then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Kurita's room was... And the best thing I could possibly think is that it's some underlying thing to do with impacts. Fuck! No! Yeah, if I really wanted to set up a spy camera, I wouldn't have set it up in Juan's room. It would be in your office, dude. Huh? My office? Well, dude, you're always saying really absurd things, right? It'd be like getting the Comedy Channel for free. Oh, damn it. I don't know. It's sort of eating at me that maybe this is it, so I'm gonna try it. Nope. God damn it. I guess the next thing I would think, and the only thing that would be in that room at the time, would be Juan Kurita himself. Something about him he wants... He you know... The real reason you set up the camera in Mr. Corita's room was Mr. Corita. If Adrian Andrews is not, your focus on it, there's something about Mr. Corita that you want caught. Damn it! Maybe it's something to do with the suicide reports. Maybe that would be it. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Corita's room was... Damn it! Did we establish the guitar case? I'd forget. I think... No, we didn't. No. Well, now we do. No. Nope. Thought maybe it was for self-defense or some shit, because he knew something was up, but... Don't think I presented the Nickel Samurai sign, this itself. Nope. Well, now we have. No, okay. Okay, alright. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Corita's room was, and the only thing that I even have a hint could possibly point to this guy, is the picture card placed next to the victim at the time of the murder. Miss Andrews was carrying it, and it is a card that is directly linked up with these serial killer murderings. He seems to know a thing or two about the killer. It's right! Oh, hallelujah! What is this card? Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelley the Killer, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you? Shelley the Killer? That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt Ongard, I know why you know Mr. D. Killer. It's because you're a hero of justice! No, it's not. You're his client. You're a star. Let's just go ahead and go with the nuclear option here. You're his client! Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley D. Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Carita. The real master behind this whole murder is you, Matt Ongard! And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. Mirror, I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought, anyway. Mr. Ongard, you really did hire... Yo, hold on a sec. I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult yourself? Get off your damn phone. Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyways. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Thank God. Thank God. What the fuck? How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt Ongard. What the fuck? You are so scratched up. How? Why? What's happening? I don't understand.
Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have.
You really... So you are Shelley the Killer's client?
You didn't really think I was dirty my own hands in this, did you? What did you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself, trying to stick the crime on me. I didn't think she had it in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? That's... You're lying! What terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on and let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why? Why did you hide that video camera and...
A weakling soon believes the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian.
He knew about Miss Andrews' secret?
But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all, assassins.
What?
Oh, come on now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the sinful deed over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess?
And that's why...
Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crime scene recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep it at bay. And even blackmail him if I want. That's right. That video is my insurance. Isn't that what they call it, Mr. Wright?
Why would you do something so wrong?
Because I'm a grown-up, and I can. Good enough of an answer for you, little girl.
Criminate?
Why? Why would you kill Mr. Kurita?
Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Scandals are a little annoying, aren't they?
This is all because of that press conference, isn't it?
If Mr. Kurita had been able to give it, then Mr. OnGuard's secret would have...
Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit, it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought.
And that's how Mr. Kurita ended up dead.
Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet, innocent face, and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin, too. Oh, and how can I forget? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me. Matt OnGuard.
You fucking shitbag.
Oh, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet.
How could I have been so deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked you if you had killed Juan Kurita, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone.
Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was that D-Killer guy, right?
Bingo!
All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room.
You killed Mr. Kurita!
I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Oh, but too bad. You can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How does that sound? Oh, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you absolutely can't do.
Mystic Maya.
You wouldn't want to test D-Killer. He's a man of his word, so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose.
You scoundrel!
So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I wouldn't give it all. I think I would give it all. Son of a whore. I think I would give it my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes a happy win-win resolution.
I'll get you for this.
That's such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well things turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer.
Fucking asshole. Great. So it's even worse than I originally thought it could be. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found who? Edgeworth! The starring line of this case. Edgeworth? I don't care for the horrid atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Hi, friend. Game plans. Well, Wright, what are you going to do if you plan on changing your strategy?
No! We can't do that.
That's right. He's holding Maya hostage. What
What should I do?
That's not something I can answer for you.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Right? Only you can decide where to go from here. 1 year ago, at that time, I didn't truly understand what a prosecutor was. And that is why I had to leave the prosecutor's office. I felt that I couldn't stand in a court of law until I knew what a prosecutor really was. And now, Wright, it's your turn.
My turn?
What is this thing called a lawyer? What can you do as one? You must find the answer, and you must find it on your own.
Please help me. Help me! I'm a lawyer. But to fight for someone who is clearly a killer... Matt Ungard. That man is really...
It doesn't matter who. Every person deserves a proper defense and a fair trial. Isn't that the basis of our judicial system?
Proper defense? But what exactly is that? Is it where a lawyer forcibly and blindly gets an acquittal through shouting and trickery?
Ironic that you of all people should say such a thing. Isn't that exactly how you have fought for your clients up until now?
Well, that may be true, but that's...
That's because I believe my clients to be innocent.
Oh, wait, no. That's because I believe my clients to be innocent from the bottom of my heart. But if I were to get on guard and acquittal, that isn't a proper defense at all. I became a lawyer because I thought I could save people who were suffering and in pain. But when I look at this mess we're in, I can't even protect the person closest to me. Even if I win the case, I still lose in the end. I just don't know what to do.
Right? Would you get a hold of yourself? You have it all wrong.
Right is wrong? How is that? How is wrong right, sir?
We aren't some sort of heroes. We're only human, you and I. You want to save someone? That's something easier said than done, wouldn't you say?
That's...
You are a defense attorney. You can't run away from that. You can only fight. That's all you can do.
Why fight? People like you and Franziska von Karma are always using all you have to pin me down. You fight to the very end, even when you know the truth is not with you. But I'm not like you. I can't fight for a false verdict for a man I clearly know to be guilty.
Franziska, she fights for herself. The only thing she fights for is her perfect win record. That's all.
And? Isn't that the same as you? Isn't that why you ran away a year ago? Because your precious win record was destroyed? You're so petty.
I see. Now I understand why you despise me so. However, you are mistaken.
What do you...
Thanks to you, when you sealed off my path to a perfect win record, I began to realize the error of my ways. I realized that things such as a perfect record were meaningless.
What? I don't believe you. Are you saying that is why you left the prosecutor's office? But then, why? Why are you here now?
The answer to that is something you will find out on your own. I have faith you will see it before the verdict is read tomorrow. But if you can't, then you will be powerless to change the ending of this story.
So is he trying to hint to me that, like, I'm trying to go for a perfect record myself and failing miserably? Probably. Anyway.
Mr. Nick! The transceiver!
Merp.
I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Now then, Mr. Attorney, do you wager you could obtain an acquittal tomorrow? Why not? What's the matter, Mr. Attorney? I don't sense your usual anger this time.
Tell me, please. Why are you holding Maya hostage for Mr. Ungard's sake? Why are you... Why are you doing this for the cold-blooded killer?
Right?
Please don't misunderstand things. He is my client.
Don't toy with me! A man who hires an assassin is just as much of a killer himself.
I believe you are asking me for a reason as to why I'm doing what I'm doing, Doctor.
Yeah?
This is what I like to call my aftercare.
What the heck is aftercare?
My name carries a certain amount of horror and dignity, Mr. Attorney. I take great care to ensure that no suspicion falls upon my client for my handiwork. This way it's all client relations, and is a part of an assassin's duty.
An assassin's duty?
We were unlucky this time, and my client was arrested as a suspect. As a result, I did what I had to do to enlist your expert help, Mr. Attorney, and to ensure that you'll do everything in your power to that very end.
What is your name?
I believe I told you once before, however.
You did, but...
My name is the Killer. Shelly the Killer.
You're Shelly the Killer?
Please keep in mind you do not have much space to maneuver with me. As a killer, I always finish what I set out to do. If you fail, you keep up your end of the bargain.
Maya!
It would be my duty as an assassin to see to it she receives a nice long nap.
Oh god, why are you being so much of a tick? Ah, no!
Now then, if you'll excuse me, if someone were to chase the signal back to me, it would be quite troublesome.
Meow.
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
I don't know what to say.
Edgeworth! Did you hear that? At the end of that transmission? Meow.
Huh? Oh, that. It sounded like a cat?
A cat?
It can't be! That cat... Why are you assuming it's that cat? There are several cats in the world. You know that, right?
What is it?
I know where Shelly the Killer is holding Maya hostage. Edgeworth, have all the police units head to On Guard's mansion immediately.
All right. You hurry over as well, then.
Don't lose hope yet, Pearls. The fight has only just begun.
Yeah!
Right. Oh, nope. Don't want to do that. Come on, move. Get a move on. Run, run. Slingshot our way over. Oh, hey, now there's a bear over there. Well, let's see what the hell's happening. Maya!
Please answer us! Mystic Maya!
We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. Assuming he's still in the area.
I can't believe it. That butler. All this time. He was D-Killer? Why are you assuming it was the butler? It could just be somebody else hiding out here.
He and On Guard were working together all this time. I'm sure they had worked out a contingency plan ahead of time.
Right, well... I know where he is. I know where, like, they have been, so...
Oh, it's a figurine of the bear! But there are a lot of cuts in it for some reason.
Figurine added to the court record, why? A bear. Isn't that more of a thing for Mr. Kurita? Why would something like this be here?
Right, look down. There's a little pet door installed here.
I'm sure that's for Shu.
Do you think that this came through that little door? This door, it's locked. Well, I'm pretty used to breaking down doors by now. Let's go, Edgeworth! Slam. Crash. No. There's no one here.
From the looks of this room, I would say this is On Guard's private lounge. Look at this, Wright.
An antenna for sending and receiving radio signals, and a VCR. Check inside the desk. See if there's a tape. It would be an important piece of evidence. If we're lucky, it'll have the moment the crime was committed recorded on it.
I'm sorry, but the tape deck is empty. There's no tape to be found.
No!
But there's no mistake that someone used it to record something. It looks like someone took the tape we're looking for and escaped with it.
Where's Maya, then? She can't still be in the wine cellar. They probably ran. We've searched all over, but it looks like he got away.
I'm sorry. It looks like he slipped out of our grasp this time.
And now we've lost our only lead.
Don't give up yet. That little girl is looking to you to be her pillar.
Yeah, you're right.
We're close, I can tell. We've already set up checkpoints along every route leading out of this district. Leave the rest to us.
Maya. There's a thing on the ground. This looks like a picture of Miss Impacts. With love, Celeste.
Miss Impacts? You mean...
Yes, Mr. Kurita's former manager.
Why would a picture of Miss Impacts be here in Mr. Onguard's mansion?
Why does it say, with love? This might be a clue. Yup. Triangles. What's wrong, Pearls?
Please, let me see that picture frame.
Huh? What's so special about the frame?
Oh, on the back. There's something written on the back of the frame. Maya. It's Mystic Maya! She left us a message!
What? Oh boy. I thought you'd come. I knew you would. Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. I'm fine, so you don't need to worry. There's so much I want to write, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Pearly, you're there too, right? Make sure you help Nick, okay? Someone's got to watch out for the helpless luck. That's it for now, Nick. I guess I'll talk to you later. Well, there's our answer. We're putting him right on the spot.
No! Mystic Maya!
Right!
Yep.
What's wrong? Why the blank stare?
Oh, nothing.
We've searched the house and this is the last room. It looks like he's eluded us.
Edgeworth.
Yes?
As far as clues go, I think this is about all I'm gonna get. But I'm still short one last thing.
And what is that?
Yes. Okay, there. Miss Andrews' Psycholock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow to blow this case wide open and expose the truth. And I know exactly how to do it!
I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center.
Thanks, Edgeworth. It's gotta be like 11 p.m. Jesus. Well, let's go, Pearls. It's time to open that last lock. Well, let's hope she didn't hang herself. Okay, no, you're still here.
Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill.
Miss Andrews, I have come to remove your psych-lock. That she doesn't know a thing about what the hell you're talking about.
Psych-lock?
I want to know, and you will tell me. Your secret.
Fine, go ahead. Try to break me, if you can.
I think we can this time. Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. Onguard for the murder?
I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer.
No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. Onguard. Mr. Onguard, son of a bitch. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge.
So are you saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why?
What an absurd idea. I don't have anything I want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge.
Take that! Celeste?
There's only one catalyst that could cause such a strong feeling and even revenge. And that is Miss Impacts' suicide.
What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hid her suicide note was also Juan. Why does all this have to do with Matt?
What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him. Yet. But for you to hate Mr. OnGuard, it would mean that he must have some relation to Miss Impacts and her suicide.
Can you explain to me this relation between Celeste and Matt?
I can now! This is a photo of Miss Impacts, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though.
What?
With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impacts' handwriting, isn't it?
Where did you find this?
No, that's all right. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. Unguard's mansion.
And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed.
Stop blocking things from me, lady. Full health! Yay! Full health for court. Alright, let's have a chat.
Celeste, she was supposed to get married to Juan.
Yes, but I heard that it didn't work out.
Because Mr. Coretta didn't want to get married to her anymore, right?
Yes, because of Matt.
Because of Mr. OnGuard? What do you mean?
I think I can see where she's going. Yeah, I can see where she's going. Here.
Celeste, she was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at that time.
Aww, that's so cute.
I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why...
Oh, so that's why, with love, Celeste, is written on the frame of that picture.
They were a couple, weren't they?
It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used.
Oh.
Toyed with until she was thrown away.
That's so horrible.
Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that. Which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios. And that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then, it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste.
I see. So that's what happened?
But then why did Mr. Coretta have to call off the wedding? I don't understand at all.
It was probably because of his worthless male pride. Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most.
Poor Miss Impacts.
This wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds. And, so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note.
But why would he do that?
It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and it would be especially damaging to his refreshing, like spring breeze, image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge.
Revenge? There's that word again.
Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I'd even brought a lighter.
Ooh. Well prepared for destruction.
But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters, so when I stabbed Juan's body with a knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt.
Yeesh. Yeah, that's the kind of madness that is bred by other madness, I'm sure.
And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man?
Yes. Quite the monster, that guy.
I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession.
Thank you very much for your time and talking with me.
It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway.
I can't sleep either. Not with my situation. Or with what I now know. What I know now. To be continued. Oi, oi, oi. I think we're going to have to move on to the next chapter. Because there is quite a bit of juice involved in this. So I assume this is probably... Oh, hey, nightmares? Hopefully. Yeah. How did I get into this mess? Is this the same dream as before? That's far enough. You can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I have this dream a lot. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. Yerf. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence. You are no longer worthy of your title. Slap. Shit. Who changed my ringer? I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. And if this day was written into my destiny, today I'll stand in court as a lawyer to prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Boy, probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep. Oh, hello. Bye. Merp. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. What voice do I use? Let's see. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Grr. Bastard.
If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too.
Now listen up. You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag of not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. Maya. Phoenix. Phoenix. Oh, hey. Mia! Maya! How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia? What am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here. Not anywhere. Hello? Why do people keep calling me? Stop it. Leave me alone. Is that accursed on guard again? Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. Oh, oops.
You're really mean, pal.
Gumshoe! I'm really, really sorry. Where are you?
They let me in the investigation team, and we're chasing after Tequila, pal.
Then you have some sort of lead?
Sorry, but right now we got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not going to give up.
Gumshoe.
Until the trial's over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Maya out, then you can get Ungard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal.
That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first.
You got that? So, you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer.
I have to make the trial last longer. That is one of my, that's one of my prime skills. Just like extending a trial to the point where it probably shouldn't have been. I can do that.
If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you got, then you too can draw it out.
Oh, now I get it.
I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we got just like you.
Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance.
Yeah.
Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through. I know it. I don't know. Gumshoe doesn't come through all that often, but we'll see. March 23rd, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Let's do this, Edgeworth.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Stop, you pompous asshole.
Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings.
Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape.
Then you're saying that she's guilty after all?
I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct you to the court's attention to this card.
What is that? It looks like a shell.
This is the calling card of a certain assassin.
Assassin, you say?
Yes, Juan Corrida was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. Oh boy, we are not stretching this out. Maybe don't. Whatever.
What a surprising turn of events!
I would think it's becoming a commonplace by now, Your Honor.
I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand.
So this is where it comes in. So we're just going to stall for time and just bring in everybody that was there. You know what? Cool. I'm fine with that.
Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star.
And what is your relation to the defendant?
Well, that's... I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah.
Mr. Powers, please. You don't need to put yourself down so much.
No, sorry, well... I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy.
On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't. But, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about what you went to when you went to Mr. Ongar's room. Here. Oh, okay, sure.
You lovable lion. Hello, visit to Matt's room.
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone at first. I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me.
Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Power's testimony.
And talking with the bellboy is no big deal.
If one assumes that the person Mr. Ongard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy...
What are you implying?
Well, Mr. Wright, let's have you cross-examine, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation.
Ha! A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Oh well, I'm just gonna do what I am, predetermined to do. I don't know. Anyway.
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room.
Let's just push, get more dialogue, get more info. The defendant's room. Why did you go there?
Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother of sort, and I wanted to say congrats.
Here. What's wrong? Why'd you stop?
Mr. Wright!
Yeah, what is it?
You're going to try to trick me into a court, aren't you?
Ah.
I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer.
No one said you were, Mr. Powers.
No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy.
Every time.
Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later date. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry.
So you went to the defendant's room, and then...
Hey, wait a minute! When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here?
Matt Ongard was standing in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume.
Are you sure that was Matt Ongard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then.
If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken.
And what was the defendant doing standing in front of his own room? He was talking with someone at first. I thought it was the bellboy.
At first? What do you mean by that?
Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform, and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry.
I guess I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one.
I watched the two of them for a while, then I gave up and went back. A very low attention span.
You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So how long did you watch the two of them?
Not more than a minute or two, I think. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me.
Here. So, what are these guests you're talking about?
You guys, of course. You and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it'd be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Talking with someone at first. Thought it was the bellboy. And again, he says thought. At first? What do you mean by that?
I didn't think he was the normal bellboy.
And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... Wait a fuck nugget.
You know, I didn't feel something weird. I didn't think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Yeah, that's it. You really know your job.
Huh? Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
this bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please, amend your testimony.
You mean about the bellboy, right?
Oh, I did... Okay, so I pressed in the wrong order. That's why.
Matt gave the bellboy a tip.
What tip? So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that?
Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments should I ask about. Yeah, the face. I know where this is going. What was so shocking about the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers?
Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old gramps.
I hope you know that that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court.
No, that's not what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches.
A line of stitches?
Yeah, and it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chin. Almost like if that thread snapped, all the stuff in his head would come spilling out.
Ah! He was there! At Uncard's house! He was the butler!
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. So that means Uncard was talking with Deke Killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, Uncard would be declared guilty in a blink. Phoenix, we have to play dumb here. Pretend you don't know anything. Yes, Chief.
You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright?
What did you just say, Your Honor?
Nothing, Mr. Wright, nothing. We're just going around and around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony.
Okay, wait, here's a question. Here, hold on a second. No, you're right. We can figure out what the tip was by doing this. And asking this question again. Here. How much was it? Right. Okay, thank you, Mario. You pointed that out. There is an avenue we have not crossed over. Face is not important. What was the tip? The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
No, sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
A little too much?
Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? No, honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess.
And why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash? God, well, how interesting.
that certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor.
The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Where's the objection? The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him.
Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting?
Hey, he's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
So, supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Eek.
Payment?
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida.
Then the bellboy was, the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
He's right. He's right. That's bad.
Hold your horses now, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley D. Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley D. Killer.
He is the person the police special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley D. Killer. Really?
But what's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head, and I think I just figured something out.
No?
Yeah, actually, I saw the bellboy again later on that night.
What? Oh boy. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Okay. So, I guess to stretch it out, I could probably... I could ask more questions backwards. You know, I could press backwards, I suppose. Gotta remember I can do that.
This time I was not in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, the bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean...
Convenient.
Thank you very much. This is all we need for now. But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. D. Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh.
This is no laughing matter. I got nothing else to do. I've lost everything in this case.
This time I was in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom.
I must save. That was a mess. Objection, leading the witness. If only. A just world, we could say that, but no. And what time was it?
Oh, well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 p.m. by that time.
You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers?
Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats.
Objection, he's a wimp anyway.
No, I'm just looking for some courage, that's all. Some courage. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room.
Are you sure it was the same bellboy?
Yeah.
And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all.
No, but you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt.
Yep.
So, which room did the bellboy come out of? No, of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room.
There we go. The victim's room, huh?
Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, all right.
Words cannot describe how screwed I am.
Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? No, now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place.
I'd like to hear a little more about that, shall we? So what exactly was so out of place about him?
Right. Why the insipid grin?
Maybe because I have no idea what damning thing he's gonna say next.
Oh, well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange, too, wouldn't you?
I agree. That is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? Kinda. When you're on the clock, if you're not holding a tray or pushing around a cart, like, you know, you're kind of a service person. Did he even have a towel? If he was completely empty-handed, what the... Anyway. What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... Try to fill a past one. There is nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy.
No, but there really is.
There really isn't.
If you two are done being school children, bellboys offer room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed either. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one.
Edgeworth. Are you gonna do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious?
Dicey. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Yes, sir.
Here.
I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed.
Ask some questions, eh? So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed?
Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it.
Juice? What kind of juice was it?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice.
Crap. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Right, I think I actually know how to do this one. Yeah. Why would he be empty-handed? Well, simply put, he was delivering some juice. Objection! Mr. Powers.
Yes?
You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true.
But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and,
Well, you're scary too, but I'm not calling you a killer. So, a baseball has to... That has nothing to do with this, Phoenix. Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have I'm so screwed.
Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed?
I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corrida's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here. Anyone can clearly see that is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corrida's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
But that would mean that the bellboy had seen the room and left a dead body in the room.
Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Corrida was already dead at the time?
The girl. Mr. Edgeworth! Help!
This is the most stupid thing I've heard Phoenix say. Yeah, it's pretty dim-witted.
Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry.
What is with him? Why is he laughing?
Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there?
The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say, empty-handed. What? I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot.
Huh? What?
The bellboy, he was wearing gloves.
Gloves?
Yeah, pitch black, leather ones.
Why was it? What?
All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like this, right?
Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention that earlier?
Sorry, it slipped my mind.
Ah, boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So, what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves.
Oh, come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones.
So, a football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? What the hell?
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
See. Powers is just saying whatever the other dude wants to, like him to. Yes. Which in actual court, objections by... Well, yeah, of course. This is how Phoenix Wright works. Everybody on the witness stand has been set up by the prosecutor. Everyone. Damn, I'm out of sport. Good one. Oh god, I missed that. Alright.
Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
The rest?
No, yes, please, tell us more.
Okay.
More. There's a second meeting. What? Which is legal in Japan law. That's bullshit. I know. I know that a huge part of the law in Phoenix Wright is based off of Japan law, so that's why a lot of these things, it's like, you would be arrested in that case. What are you doing? Anyway.
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. And the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom, and then back to my seat.
Loosely based on Japan law. Yep. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fun, now would it? Exaggerated basics are true. Alright.
So, the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room.
Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident.
Some accident, I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was just suspicious to high heaven.
I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we, Mr. Wright? Your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Their second meeting. Let's do it.
After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went, knocked on Matt's door, just like that.
Oh, Frankie's been in the chat quite a few times. Anyway, is that what you saw while you were busy spying?
Excuse me. I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
Well, I think the point is, where did you watch this from, Mr. Powers?
Oh, from the door on the bathroom with my left eye in a sort of sneaky spy-like.
I knew he was spying.
Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. He gave something to the person inside the room.
Yeah. I said hold it! Why?
Okay.
That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details.
Okay.
I should probably ask him only one question at a time. About the person inside. About this something. Ask about this thing first. So, who took this something that Bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm?
It was an... So, was it, what was it called? The one, the finger hand thing from the Addams Family, that thing. Is that literally all that it was? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face?
Yeah.
Well, it was Mr. Onguard's room, correct? So it could have only been Mr. Onguard himself, I'd say.
And then, what did the bellboy do after that?
No, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing...
Right, well, hold on a sec. Let's ask a little bit more about that bit. I want to know a little bit more info. Come on. What kind of statement is that? So, person inside asked about something. What was that thing? He gave something to this person.
Yeah?
And what was this something?
If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I?
But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kind of small. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that.
Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client.
Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off.
Oh, well, let's see. I think it was... No...
If you remember, please add it to your testimony.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden step.
The fuck? I'm gonna save real quick. What?
Wooden statue, what?
I am so confused. Hold on a minute. Wait, wooden statue? Objection! It was not a statue, my friend, no! What do I think about this case? Well, I hate everyone in it, that's for sure. Here.
What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Speak up!
It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix. Deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw. Was it this item?
No, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Matt Onguard's mansion.
At the defendant's house?
Oh, no. Oh, I don't like willpower. No, all right. I like Will Powers or Adrian. I'm just upset. My client is so guilty, and yet I'm still defending him. Why?
What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the Killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then the bear being found at Mr. Onguard's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Onguard is D. Killer's client.
Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's all right. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. Either that, or the game would have gated me from moving on unless I showed it. But whatever. I almost forgot that he knew about it too.
I think it's clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored.
What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
I saw the health... Oh, whoops. I saw the health meter show up. I know what that means. Time to be cautious. Nope, we're diving right in. How the hell are we going to stretch this further? I have no idea. I mean, it seems pretty concrete at this point.
All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
Power's testimony. The person who received the bear itself. I mean, technically speaking, I could probably stretch any of these out. In theory. I mean, Power's testimony is very solid. Like, ridiculously solid, so I think he actually did see it. That's the dilemma in this case. If we get our client declared guilty, Maya dies. If he's not guilty, then he goes, yeah, no, I get you. And this... On Guard is such an asshole. Okay. Power's testimony. The person who received the bear. The bear itself. I've looked at individual items before. Why not? I think it's fairly obvious that this bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
This was found at Mr. Onguard's mansion. However, Mr. Onguard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh.
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Onguard who took this bear to his mansion.
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Whew. Disaster avert... Nope. Nope. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungod's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, he was D-Killer. D-Killer and On-God were working together, so to speak. And D-Killer was hiding at On-God's mansion as its butler.
What a bold move!
The bear figurine was brought back to On-God's mansion by D-Killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, On-God had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during the investigation. Woof. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else.
What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to...
I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Power's testimony.
What? There's still another one?
There is indeed, Your Honor. And it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further?
All right, we've talked about the bear. My guess is that I could probably just, just tap my watch, let time roll on. Why would On Guard ask you to feed his cat? Probably to throw me off, likely, something like that. I don't know. Again, they've been colluding with themselves the entire time. He was arrested right away. He didn't know the killer would hide at his place. No, maybe, yeah. Oh, okay, let's see. Person who received the bear? I don't know. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear.
They gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of...
What? Oh, God. Why?
Yes?
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered who took the bear.
What? Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it.
You've got to be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai's.
Of course. They just said they were working together, and that the butler brought the bear home with on guards. Now, my brain is mush at this point. I'm kind of just following it from here.
Order, order! It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt and God is the Nickel Samurai.
Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Ungard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you?
Damn it. I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
I don't know. Let me save first. Because I feel like I've got very few chances left. My God. Well, do I? What should I do? I mean, we haven't heard that Maya's safe yet. So I need to keep objecting. Objection! There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Ungard's mansion. However, it's possible that that this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is D-Killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes. Tisk tisk. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is D-Killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer?
There's only one person that I could possibly think would fit the bill in some way, shape, or capacity. That would stretch this out a little bit further. But it would put a real nice innocent person, well, innocent to an extent, in jail.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt Ungard for the crime by wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume.
Duh! Then the Nickel Samurai arm that I saw.
That could have very well been Miss Andrews.
But what about Mr. On Guard?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding this figurine at Mr. On Guard's mansion.
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. I think Edgeworth's being very nice.
What's with this trail? Come on, anyone can tell On Guard did it.
I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty. It's murder of all things.
This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Here.
Order, order, order. All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself.
Oh boy.
I see. Well, then the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Whoa. March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3.
Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt on Adrian.
Yeah, I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick!
Pearls, where's Mia?
Oh no. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
Maya's alive! Hooray. Let's see. yeah, you missed the heel turn, as it were. A really strong power. Ba-da-da-da. Please!
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
That's from Gumshoe!
How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal?
Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto.
Ooh, that's good, pal.
What about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are?
We still don't have any leads, but...
What?! We don't have any more time!
If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful.
I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. What? Huh? A tent? I could see a circuit. What? Oh shit! Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now?
There's only one, pal. The Berry Big Circus.
Yay, clowns. Maya is somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent.
What? Okay, hold on a second, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. A 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry!
And I could see a mailbox under the window just outside.
Gumshoe! There's also a mailbox!
Oh, okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building. Maybe the 3rd floor or so.
I heard her! An old office building! Good stuff, pal! Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die. Okay, pal? You're...
Oh, no! Mia! Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's been starved. Gumshoe, please hurry! Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Oh, boy. Gumshoe's amazing. He's legally not allowed to do this. Nope! He's doing it anyways. Okay, March 23, 12:05 p.m., District Court, number 3. Get through the last bit of this.
Court will now reconvene.
D. Killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Fun fact, Dick Gumshoe's name in French version is Dick Detective. Oh. Facepalm. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. Meh. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have.
You have seen it before?
That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why? Why does she... All right. Gumshoe isn't slang for detective in French, so the pun would have made sense. So it wouldn't have made sense, so it was changed. Okay, then. The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. I've seen some of those before. Like, you know, the viral videos of people being like, this is a very complex puzzle. And when you solve it, it slides out and reveals a secret compartment.
So, this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Smash it! Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this is superb craftsmanship.
Now that I think about it, they wouldn't be able to smash it, because now it's evidence. Damn it.
Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Don't forget that. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Okay. The bear figurine. I'm gonna save again. Here. We've gotten very far. We've done a whole lot. Gone through many... Oh, whoops. Gone through many cutscenes. Superb craftsmanship. Maybe Larry made it. That'd be impressive. He does have talent with crafting things. Yeah, the thinker. I think it's 8 p.m. Or wait, it's 1 p.m. I believe. I'm trying to remember the exact time when that murder happened. It's been a while. It's been a while since I played the original Phoenix, right? I thought about doing it for the stream, but again, I would have known I would have known every single one of the puzzles, so at least tangentially. I didn't feel like it. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle, yep. It is 1 p.m., I think. Yeah. A puzzle? That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So, what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time.
So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that?
Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Oh, this is most interesting.
A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. That's impressive, him being so old. What is he, like 500 years old at this point?
Hey, look at the arms. They're so dangly. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
God. That reminds me. I wasn't going to mention this on stream, but hey, while we're in the neighborhood, I actually did decide to break down, and I finally got myself a fidget spinner. The reason why I got it is because they're fucking everywhere now, and I know eventually I'm gonna own one. So, I just decided to pick one up. And at least for my benefit, I got one that was decent. Not a ridiculous one. Like, enthusiasts are stupid with them. Just being like, hey, what kind of lubrication do you use on the, on the ball bearings of it? And it's like, oh, is it making some weird noises? I've heard that if you readjust it a little bit, then everything falls back into place. It's like, get a different hobby. It's a thing that spins, and, it spins for a long time. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. At least for me, anyway. I don't see a big deal in it. I'm gonna get sick of this thing within the span of like a week. Anyway, enough tangent.
Don't mind me. Go ahead, carry on. Just fidgeting in the corner.
I think he's lost it. So, what did you find after you take the puzzle apart, yeah? It's the inventor of the fan, but far more stupid. Yes, at least the fan had, blades that directed air. Actually, this one kind of does. And a motor on the inside of it. Anyway.
At its center is a small cavity with just enough room for it to store a small item.
Cool. And how do you know about this?
I know because I was the one who bought it.
Huh?
It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan.
So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony.
Because of its complexity, you don't know... if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear.
So who exactly knew how to solve the puzzle?
Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it could be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
No, you kind of can't. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box?
I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew.
The two of you, huh? Then, of course, that means Mr. On Guard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Ah, good. Don't have to present anything. Figurine updated in the court record. Cool. Mr. Wright? Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize... Yeah. That there's one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside the box? Oh god, now, ever seen UHF? You took the box! Let's see what's in the box! Lifts up box. Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid!
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness.
Yes?
You are the only one who can open this. Please? Please do. We just got a letter. I wonder who it's from. There's a painful... Wait, all eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle. And takes the bear apart. Colac.
I've opened it.
So what is it?
Is this what you wanted?
I'm guessing I know exactly what that is.
What is that? It looks like a note.
We just got evidence. We just got evidence. Wonder who it's from. I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright?
Nope.
It's the suicide note.
The suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide.
I knew it. Knew it. Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it had already been taken by D. Killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. And now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known.
I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Ungard. About being engaged to Corrida and Ungard's role in destroying that. And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impax had to say.
There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungard.
Then what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness?
Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of this note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word!
Matt Ungard values above all else his refreshing, like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost! Hey, Gumshoe, can you call up for a second?
It's Ungard's fault! That woman killed herself!
And this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing it.
Oh, God. How terrible. What a selfish person. I guess he's a slimeball lawyer. Stop talking my ear off, crowd. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. D. Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with this note inside was found at the defendant's house.
It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to escape from this one?
Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do.
I know! I have to carry on and buy him some more time.
Okay, There are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I could find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry! The suicide note or the figurine? Which one should I pursue? The suicide note is pretty good. It's pretty damning. So I don't know. Here. Saves! Okay, well, now that I've saved, I'm not too entirely worried about it. I'm worried about, like, picking something and being like, hey, this thing's fraudulent, and then having to present evidence and not knowing what evidence it would be. The only thing I could think even has any holes in it would probably be the figurine. Because, yeah. I'm trying it. Objection! For whatever reason. Please, wait, Your Honor! And everybody hates me. Oh, man, look at that lawyer.
He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
The assassin took this with him from the crime scene after murdering Mr. Kurita at the request of his client, of course. Will you guys shut up?
So what's your point, Mr. Wright?
I don't think it's possible that Mr. D. Killer's client was Matt Ongard. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. How did D. Killer know to take the bear? Good point. You can't tell just by looking at this bear... Wait, you can't tell just by looking at it that this bear is really a jewelry box. The chances that Matt Ongard thought the note was inside this bear are 0 to none!
No, I didn't think of that way.
Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. After all, there's no reason why Mr. Ongard would ever want a jewelry box like this. Yeah.
Order, order, order.
Yeah, they're very rowdy today. Miss Andrews said only Juan and herself knew about the note inside it. Yeah, that is true.
You make a very valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Yeah, it was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. Yes. His goldfish named... Wait, he hates bears. Bear killed his goldfish. Goldfish named Sock. I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon himself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. I was wondering when this was finally going to come in.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt Ongard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Ongard.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. You have the actual one and you found a replacement, right? But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Matt Ongard's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix,
It looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, eh?
What am I supposed to say to that evidence, sir?
I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. OnGuard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along.
He's got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
That would explain the equipment in the room in his house, yeah.
What's that lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, nasty.
Phoenix,
Yes, Chief?
have you figured out what you're going to do next?
What I'm gonna do next? Does running away like a frightened child work?
I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing.
Well, what is it, Mia?
There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate.
Something he should investigate?
I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance.
Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? I think I know where you're getting at. I think I might know where you're... I might know. I don't know. I'm saving just to be safe. All right, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia is talking about?
Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? Yeah. I have an objection, Your Honor.
That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection! Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easy. You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing.
Hey, isn't that what I just said?
Sorry, I'm taking lines. I need to look confident.
So you're telling me that I forgot something?
You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I think he's referring to the transmitter, ain't he? Considering the fact you have no tapes or no proof at all that any of these things were used in the murder. Maybe? Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I do believe some special examination is needed, but I think this, the item that should be examined... Oh, god damn it.
Okay, fucked up. Alright, almost. There's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. The only thing I could think hasn't been looked into yet... How was Juan killed? I mean, he was stabbed, like... Again, the only thing that hasn't been looked into is this photo. Take that. Nope. Yeah, whatever. I saved. I mean, the bear would be dumb. I'm protecting it anyway. Nope. Okay, something else that we have not thoroughly checked. That is Miss Impax's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed! Oh! So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impax or not, that has yet to even remotely been confirmed. Yep. Makes sense. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be saying... Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews,
You were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. OnGuard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear?
How dare you?
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking to the witness,
This witness to the suicide note whatsoever, man. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it.
What?
Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve this puzzle is the witness herself. Ah! Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt OnGuard.
I did no such thing. Right? If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory.
Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution.
That's enough! Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It is as the defense has stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible!
This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time.
OnGuard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that.
I think we've reached the end of the line.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Oh boy. Everybody's angry. Oh! Yes! Finally!
What is that sound?
It's Gumshoe! Hello, Gumshoe! What is with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to D-Killer?
He got away.
What?
I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say beside I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do.
Anyway, what's going on?
We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time.
But
don't tell me we don't have any more.
Guilty. I mean, if we could just find her now as opposed to later. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and. Oh!
What is it?
Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth.
I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch.
Take that.
Whoop, take that.
Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you've got to buy us some more time.
Court is in session. Here. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but
I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
This time I really can't do anything.
Court is now adjourned for the day.
Oh, God. Maya!
Objection!
Oh, good. Good.
Please wait, Your Honor.
Edgeworth!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for.
Please, Your Honor! Please, make the gears inside that salty head of yours move.
Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
March 23rd, 2:04 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. This is going very long.
Right? Well, what's going on with Maya's situation?
The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Oh, please. Oh, please, 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 please.
Report!
Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time. Just spill it out.
Right. Looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things?
Can we use any of them as evidence?
Oh, I thought you'd ask, pal.
Er,
I got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really?
That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime labs first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys went looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
Oh, God. So many crimes.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now.
I wish that was possible for everybody. Just like, I'm going to put the law on hold for a second. I'm going to kick your ass. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this.
With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'd be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
All right. Just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission, and no one can stop me now, sir. No one! I'm pulling out of the stops and running every red light.
Items left by the murderer. Huh. Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Whoa, what is going on? Did he crash into the building?
Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me.
No one can stop me.
Did he crash? Oh God, he crashed. What happened?
It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well.
What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help.
But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them.
No! We can't let that happen!
Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance.
Why? Why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Good question. Okay. So, red lights, eh? Any way we can find out where he is? Okay, well, I mean, he was pulling away from Barry's big circus at one point. And he might be nearby where some red lights are located. Because it sounds like he crashed from there. What's the fastest? Yeah, what's the fastest route to that? So I'd say there's got to be a way. That's right! There's a way!
What? How?
I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this! Meh. I'm just gonna start throwing things, alright?
I'm not in the middle of a mock trial here.
I guess this won't work, huh?
I guess it's up to me. Alright, I'll think of something on my mind. Don't get your hopes up too high, but I'll try my best.
Did I say something wrong? Meh. Yeah, reset. Is there a potential that, like, Maya dies if I, make the wrong moves here? Yeah, I'm gonna throw things at him. We're kind of at that position here. It's fine. I mean, Maya, there's no goddamn way Maya would have seen the car crash, right? No way. Oh, someone knows and always knows his exact look. Oh, god damn it. Oh, I forgot. You're right. There is a way we can find his exact location. I thought about this, but I was thinking more along the lines of hospital.
Why are you bringing up Franziska at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have here.
Shit. Franziska. Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth.
What is it?
I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death.
Right? It doesn't suit someone like you to cry unless... useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided.
The verdict? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here?
Yes, bailiff?
There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent.
They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do.
To be continued. And I've been streaming for about 4 hours, so as much as I don't want to leave it on a cliffhanger, I think we're going to save and we are going to see the finale of this the next time I play it. Ouchies! Carmen is the only one able to help us. The question is, will she? I don't know! Suppose we'll see. Anyway, yes. Come back next time. As much as I want to continue playing this again. Good 4 hours. And the last time that we streamed this, I streamed it for like 4 or 5. That seems to be a running occurrence when it comes to the Phoenix Wright streams. There's always just more stuff, more story, more plot. It's like, oh my god, more! No, tell me more! Tell me more! And then it's like 4 hours later, it's just like, oh god, sleep needs to be done. Or at the very least, some like winding down and less caffeine. But anyways, I think that will do it for the stream tonight. So yeah, tune in next either Saturday or Sunday of next week, and we're going to dive right back into the rest of this. But again, until then, thanks for popping out, watching the stream, and helping me fight through a whole lot of this stuff, because that was difficult. Yeah, sorry, again, I've kind of thrown away a huge part of me planning these streams out, but yeah, that's kind of how I do it. Just like on a weekly basis, I kind of just play games, and I only stream like 3 days a week, so I try to be selective with what I do just to keep it different. Anyway, oh, also, this room is starting to become like a sauna because I don't run the AC while I'm doing this, and it's right in the middle of summer, so I need to turn that back on. But that should do it. But okay, now I'm going to be uploading this to the VidMe and the YouTube channels shortly after I'm done editing out a bunch of the difficult parts, and then that mission just threw me the hell off. Like everything has been turned on its nose. Good lord, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just flabbergasted. Like the whole on guard pivot thing was stupid. Like seriously. I mean, I knew I was sort of, I was helping out a scumbag, but I didn't know it was like that big of a scumbag. All right, anyway, yeah, no. Now, if you wanted to take a look at any of the other games I'm playing, let's move on to that. Tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing. Probably going to be something... I thought about playing the... Son of a bitch. I was planning on playing a little bit more Breath of the Wild since the DLC recently came out. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the DLC in particular, but I thought about doing that. Especially since we have a lot of stuff to get to with that game. So the more I do in that, the better, I think. Don't worry about if he's actually innocent. I mean, I'm not real. It's just sort of weird for Phoenix Wright to have a client that is not actually in the right. Maybe I should get used to that. I don't know. All right. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to take off here. So, again, thanks, everybody, for popping in. I will catch you next time. Take care.